like that, y'all. I like that, you like. I like that, y'all. I like that, you like.
What's up?
Shit. It's 11 o'clock at night.
11 o'clock midnight on a school night, meaning a work night.
Sacrifices.
Do it for y'all. Hey, we want to apologize for the delay.
I mean, I don't know who even, like 5 people waiting on us. Like,
we got fans.
Wait,
we have fans.
To those of you that love us and support us, we apologize.
Yes, we do. We apologize. Life gets in the way.
Yes. As you guys should be able to understand,
Yeah.
The everyday struggle.
Nah, no name drops other shows, yo. It's the BZ podcast.
I didn't even realize. Okay.
You did, though.
I didn't. It just popped in my head. Subconsciously.
Well, BZ podcast back in his bitch. What's up?
So.
All right. We're going to jump right into it. We came across a question just the other day, and what we wanted to know and what we asked each other, and we want to know you guys' feedback. Does streaming services hurt or help music? So we dove into that. We wanted to know whether it helped the artist or hurt the consumer, or a little bit of give and take, this, that, and the third. And it was pretty interesting what we came up with.
Right. No video killed the radio star.
Yeah, right. Video killed the radio star, right? So I think it's just like the progression of music, but we'll get into like some bullet points. So I'll start off. You want to start off with the pros? You start off with the pros.
Okay.
All right. I have no idea what you're saying. She's signaling me on over the thing, and I have no idea what she just said. It's probably gonna get cut, but
I said, "Do you want me to read what this says?"
Nah, you can kind of freestyle it.
But then you wrote, because you wrote it out all nicely, and I'm like, "Do you want it to just
go right ahead?" But I mean, make it yours.
I remember what it says to make it mine.
All right, so you want me to take
you do it, and I can do my own prose because I'll just chime in whatever you have to say.
All right, I got you. All right, so I'll start off. All right, so some of the pros, accessibility, both ways. Artists have more of a platform to connect. They can get their music heard, while consumers, not customers, but I guess customers, still same thing. Yeah. All right, while consumers have more access to music in general. With the click of a button, the average person can get exposed to every type of music known to man. You're no longer limited to the storage space you have on whatever device you're using. You remember trying to burn a CD back in the day? Man. You fit like 20 tracks.
Right, or the original like MP3s and it hold like 12 songs. You're like, man,
yeah, right.
Try to cycle them joints.
Exactly. So like you kind of don't have to make choices of what songs to keep or delete. You remember how hard it was to like
exactly.
Really
That's what I mean. Yeah,
like yeah.
Exactly.
Your subscription gives you access to unlimited music, and it's probably a little more cost effective, because if you're paying, say, Apple Music, I got Apple Music, I pay like $10 a month. You're paying $10 for everything. Right. You know what I'm saying? Instead of paying $15, what it used to be for a CD. You pay $15 for one album,
right,
for one artist. You know what I mean? So those are a couple of the pros of streaming music. But then there's the cons, and I like to focus on cons. Right? So I'm probably going to indulge a little bit, and I'm probably going to have to ask you if this is just literally personally me, or maybe us, because both of us have kind of like the same relationship with music, especially since we're in the same generation.
Right.
But some cons for streaming services is like the artist consumer relationship is like super weak now. It's hard to build like a really strong appreciation for music since it's so accessible. I remember you really had to invest time to find the music you liked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it was like, all right, we were the last generation that used to like record off the stereo.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know, we
definitely.
were the last generation to do that. We had a little bit. You know what else I thought about earlier with this?
Well,
We've gone through three mediums of music in our lifetimes.
yeah,
We've seen it go from cassettes to CDs
right.
and now to streaming. So like we
Well,
kind of
no,
like,
and then it's four in that case. If you're saying
what's
cassettes,
that?
CDs, then the freaking MP3s, and now, you know, whatever other music
I mean,
formats. I mean, I
I
know
don't
those
think
always
that.
been there, but I mean, like, as far as just like the popularity of how people were getting their music. You know, after
Yeah.
CDs, it turned to us downloading, you know, from these music sharing sites. And then
hmm
now, like you said, you know, streaming.
Yeah, now it's streaming, but son, like I really remember trying to like catch the DJ play the song you wanted on the
Hell yeah.
radio.
My whack ass was waiting for the freaking Macarena to play.
Stop it.
I remember that. I was like, yo, I was like 11. Like, we sitting there with the radio outside. Oh, they play the
Yeah, stop.
Macarena.
Right? And then when they go to a video, you try to rewind it real quick to get to like the real ending of the song because you might have picked up
Oh,
some of
yeah,
the
they cut it
commercials.
off. Oh,
You
see,
know,
you were getting professional with it. I was just sitting
I ain't
there,
playing.
like, you know,
I
hurry up
wasn't
and
playing.
hit stop.
We was playing no games, right? So here's a tidbit. I was thinking, I used to literally rush home to get to my computer when I was younger from school to download music off of Kazaa or LimeWire.
Huzzah. You
Kazaa,
never
bro,
did
Lime.
Napster, though?
I did, but like
It was so
Napster when I
brief
got on it,
by the
yeah, like
time,
when I
yeah.
exactly like
Mm-hmm.
when I got on it, it was like always
Done.
almost dwindling out, you
Yes.
know?
Mm-hmm.
But I introduced myself to Stevie Wonder's catalog just by downloading music indiscriminately,
Mm-hmm.
like just downloading whatever I could find. I remember like so much so I would download all this old music, your Smokey Robinsons, your Aretha Franklins, rest in
Give me
peace,
some Al Green.
Al Greens, exactly, Marvin Gaye's, all that, right? I didn't know the names of the songs,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother used to call me a crooner. I didn't even know what that meant until I got older, But you wouldn't know what shit sounded like until it was done downloading. So you were literally just out there exploring,
Right.
and shit. You would get those one links. This shit would take like 3 days to download. But like that type of dedication, even though we were pirating the shit out
Mm-hmm.
of the music, that type of dedication to like really explore somebody's catalog, that really made you attach yourself to an artist.
I mean, I feel, of course, you know, just to argue your argue your case. So just for me to, you know, just argue against your case. Um, as far as you're saying, the time spent in investing, you know, yourself into collecting and finding this music. So,
hmm
I mean, I feel like every single mode has that. But like now, I mean, even if you think about it, like you just said, you think about how you were saying, you know, how we used to just sit there and record off the radio and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you
hmm
literally you couldn't do nothing else. Like you had to just sit there and wait, make sure you're hitting the buttons. You know what I mean? So,
hmm
but then, you know, once we started with the file sharing sites, you know, all we had to do was click a few buttons. Now that is way easier, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, than just sitting there waiting for a song. So now it's like, you know, you can still invest your time like looking for music, but it's so simple now. Now you just hear it instantly.
I think you take it for granted.
I mean,
You take it
yeah,
for granted a little.
definitely,
Yeah, you take
definitely.
it for
But that's
granted.
all, you know. I mean, I'm sure people thought we took it for granted. We had to play records.
You're right.
So I don't know, you know, I feel like you said, it's generational, but it's just cool. You know, I didn't even think about that. How you said we went through those different modes. So
Yeah.
you know, at least we can have an appreciation, you know, for seeing how everything is transgressing. So it's cool.
Yo, one thing you said when we were talking about it before, it was like when you downloaded, even though you were stealing the music, when you downloaded it, like
Yeah.
it was yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like I downloaded this was mine, and it kind of gave you a sense that like it was in your possession.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like
Wait, I said
I can
transgressing. I think I meant to say transcending.
I don't even
I'm
know
like,
when you said
transgress
that.
doesn't even sound like that's the right word. And I was like, you know, on a roll. And then I'm like, wait,
Mm.
nigga, shut up.
But yeah, but you were saying how like when you downloaded something, it was kind of like yours. It was in your possession, and you said like you still
Oh
had
yeah.
like on your hard drive like a whole bunch of
Oh yeah. So
actual
yeah, I
files,
still have them same old files from back when I was like 14.
and you won't delete it.
Hell
You won't.
no.
You're not gonna delete them.
Mm-mm. I'm like, what if I can't find these again?
Yeah, right.
But no, but then too, I do have some music like from people too that, just random artists that is
Yeah,
nowhere to
yeah,
be found. So that's
yeah,
kind
for
of
sure.
cool.
But like with the streaming, it's kind of like you don't have that same attachment. Like you can play something. I find myself playing something,
Mm-hmm.
and I might like it for the day, and once I search something different, and that gets lost in the searches,
Mm-hmm.
I might never hear that song again.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's fleeting.
No,
The
yeah, I'm
music is
thinking because I'm like, yeah,
fleeting.
even the songs that I really liked a lot, I kind of just like forget about them because they're not like right there.
Yeah, you take it for granted. It's not in front of your face. It's
Mm-hmm.
not taking up storage on your hard drive. That's what it is.
But oh,
You
too,
know?
I wanted to say something too about how you were saying the artist consumer relationship is weakened. I
Hmm.
feel like social media I'm always saying social media. Social media. Like I want to find a different word. I'm tired of saying that.
Okay.
I feel
It
like
comes up a lot on our show.
I know. I feel like social media has picked up the slack or has turned into the method or the device, the tool to, use to pick up that slack. You know what I mean? Because now
Oh,
it's
I get
like,
what you're saying.
yeah, because
I
now
get
it's
what you're
like the
saying.
artists are more accessible, socially. You know what I mean? We can see what they're doing. We can talk to them. They're way more personalized than they used to be. Artists used to seem untouchable. So now
Hmm.
it's like you get updates on these motherfuckers' lives every day. You see them fucking walking around the house, whatever.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like
That's
that
true.
has in a way made it stronger in a weird way. You know what I mean? Because you kind of can see the person and, get a better feel of how, if you want to rock with them or not.
Yeah. You know what else is like the speed of everything? I think you said that earlier. Like the speed of consumption is like so sped up
Mm-hmm.
because of streaming. Like
Yeah.
it used to be a process. Like you used to actually have to get like stuff printed up. CDs had to get pressed.
Mm-hmm.
CDs had to get burnt. It took time to get the music out to the public. Now it's literally I can go to sleep at 12 o'clock and wake up to a new album,
Mm-hmm.
which gets annoying to me, yo.
A little bit. And I know it's not lazy because it's like they still put in the work to make the music, but it just seems, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you just released the album. Okay.
yeah. Well, no,
Share the
what's really
file.
annoying to me on the consumer, right? On the consumer, you just email the file over to the server
Okay,
and
no
shit.
big deal.
But no, on the consumer side, what's really annoying to me, say like somebody drops an album at
Mm-hmm.
3 a.m. in the morning. I
Mm-hmm.
wake up for 6. What time you wake up in the morning, Brett?
5 o'clock.
I wake up at 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll drop at 3 a.m. and I wake up at 6 o'clock and I'm scrolling through my timeline and niggas is already saying it's a classic.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That is
Uh-huh.
really annoying to me. Like people don't sit with music no more, yo. People
Yeah.
don't sit with nothing no more.
No.
Nothing
Everybody
at
has an
all.
instant opinion.
It's
Instant
like, yo,
opinion about everything.
how did you get through an album
Nike.
and
Keep going.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But literally, how do you get through an album in 2 hours and then going to tell me that you really processed all the information on it and you're going to tell me it's up there with the greats?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Cut
I
that shit
was
out.
obsessed with, like, Ariana Grande's new album because, of course, Girl did, like, 7 tracks. But now I
That
don't
has
even feel
nothing
like
to do with
listening to
Ariana
it.
Grande.
Oh, no,
Has
no, no.
nothing to do with Ariana Grande with you.
I
That is all
mean,
Pharrell.
my favorite producers, him and Chad Hugo, eccentric. Anyway, um, but I'm already, like, bored with it.
Hmm.
It was just, like,
Because
it was
you're
just
just waiting for
got
the
it
next
so
thing.
easily. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like, I played it out for, like, a week, and I'm like, right.
And you used to not get the updates. Like, how you were saying how social media plays a part. You can kind of like follow your favorite artists.
Mm-hmm.
They might post something saying, I saw something that was like Schoolboy Q's in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
At least I know that's like the little pacifier. Like, all right, I've been waiting for Schoolboy Q's
Mm-hmm.
album. Now you stuck a
Mm-hmm.
little pacifier in my mouth. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay for a couple months. I know he's working on it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But you used to not have that, yo. You used to not know when stuff was
Nope.
dropping.
Mm-hmm.
You remember albums used to get like promotion on like commercials?
Oh yeah.
You remember?
Do
It'd be
they
like
still do that? I don't
it'd be
know.
like Usher. It'd be like Usher,
I'm done.
8701.
Not 8701 though. You picked
It'd be
that
like
one. Oh
the new
shit.
album from Usher,
You don't have to come.
right? Yeah, I watched that video the other day,
No,
yo.
you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Yo, that nigga head bobbing on the dance floor.
Right. Not even bobbing in the car. You remember they was just cutting up in the car?
Boom, boom.
I went on a cruise, yo. I went on a cruise. I was listening to Marion Touch.
Dog.
Saw that video. Still one of the best
Get a lights
choreography
on.
videos.
That's
Stop
all
it.
right.
Nah, let's not start. Yo, let's stay on
Oh,
track, yo.
baby,
Let's
by
start
the
dancing.
way.
Oh,
Baby, by the way.
All right, anyway, all right. So you said something interesting the other day, and
What I
you said
say?
cassette tapes. So cassette tapes are making it back.
What I say? No, yeah. What was it? Yeah, I've been noticing that, people releasing their music also like on cassette, and it's like, but I'm like, I guess it's like a novelty. Yeah, collectors. I mean, sounds like that's cool. Cause ain't nobody gonna listen to it, but it's cool to have.
Nah, it's cool to have.
Definitely.
Yeah, when's the last time you've been to like a record store? I went to this really dope record store like I want to say a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something about them. There's a reason why that's still around, even though we in the age of MP3.
I mean DJs, and I think
DJ
too,
it's not
like
just
it's
DJs.
just, of course, it's not just DJs, but just that even has more of a novelty to it. But I think because it's just so like, nobody's really started with cassettes yet, so that's why they're coming back finally. But I think just the big cover, you know what I mean? Just it's cool to have that.
Yeah, there's something
it's
to it.
Definitely a collector's
There's
item.
something to it. Yeah, collector's item, having it in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
And then
thing.
just too, people, got record players now. You can buy. I saw them selling them at like CVS or so around Christmas time. Like y'all selling record players. Like
I want one.
Yeah, you just
Jazz has one.
get one
Jazz
wherever.
has one.
Okay.
We playing Funkadelic and shit
Hey.
on Saturdays. That don't be rocking. But yeah, it makes you think, yo, what happens if the internet goes down? Like,
Mm-hmm.
all y'all with services screwed.
Right. Ain't listening to
You better
nothing.
go, right? You better start collecting them CDs.
See, I'm one of them scumbags that still downloads music. I have no streaming subscriptions. My ass is still downloading shit.
I can't, man. I run through storage too fast.
I feel that. But like you said, our commutes are different. Like I have a very, very short commute, so I don't keep a lot of music on my phone. I keep my gems.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right, so one thing that gets lost, and like I don't think people don't really do this no more. What really took a hit with the streaming services is album art.
People still pay attention. You don't think so? They don't pay attention to it no more?
I don't think so.
I mean, you mean like as far as like, I was just screaming. You mean as far as like the booklet and stuff inside?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, totally.
You remember the book?
But I also like, I can say yeah, totally, but I also don't buy any CDs. So I really don't.
I don't neither.
I really don't know how they're looking nowadays.
I don't neither.
It's kind of hard to get like, sometimes I get annoyed because it's kind of hard to find certain CDs. I'm like, like my favorite artist, I still just like want the CD. And sometimes it makes like a little bit of a hassle trying to find it. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I don't just want it like online, like, because I'll usually get the digital copy, first, just especially if it's an artist I really like. But then I also want, the physical, and sometimes it's a little annoying trying to find it. I'm like, this is whack.
Yeah, but like, you remember the booklets? Like the booklets used to have the lyrics in it. The booklets used to have the credits. The credits.
Yeah, no, the credits for sure. But I mean, you can find that shit online, but
you can, but it's not there
I used to
when
just
you
love
get the album.
pictures and stuff hanging around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You remember what nerd album was that? Seeing Sounds.
Oh, that one was amazing.
Their artwork was crazy in Seeing Sounds. You're not gonna get that no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't get that. You just get the cover. Kanye's graduation artist.
Yeah.
You remember the graduation art? That was crazy when we was in college. What was that was Takashi Murakami. I think that was the artist's name.
Nigga said Takashi.
Yeah, that's the first Takashi. Yeah.
Chad. Oh, okay.
But like the credits was there.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy to get the credits, the features. You know what else I've been noticing?
What?
I've been noticing that artists aren't really, even if they have a feature on their joint, the actual title of the song won't say featuring Drake or featuring. It's not consistent.
Really?
It's not as consistent as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder why that is.
Right. You hear that nigga voice? He did. Shoot. I mean, dang, can we get a little hands up?
Right. Man. So what do you think, yo? Do you think the artist is more hurt from streaming services, or do you think the consumer's hurt, or you think it's like a mixed bag?
Of course it's a mixed bag, because there's good and bad to it. And
Yeah.
I mean, on both ends for us, and them. It's good for us because we're able to discover more stuff quicker. Our time, because the time's moving so fucking fast and we're doing so many different things. Because even still with how accessible music is, you still need to sit and really scrounge through. And I mean, at the same token, it can take so much time to go through all the music because there's so many artists because everyone can put their shit out now. So that's a little overwhelming too.
There's a lot of trash SoundCloud rappers.
I mean, there's a lot of trash.
Apple.
Yeah, there's a lot of trash, but then there's also a lot of good stuff mixed in it. So you really got to sift through. And then as far as, the artists, like, they're able to get exposure. They don't always have to go through these big labels and things like that. They can just do their own thing and get it out there and promote themselves. So that's really cool. I don't know how the money works into it. I mean, at this point, it's probably like not as bad as, especially when it first, like the music first started getting like online and streamed, like all the streaming shit first started, and they weren't really like, it was free. Remember like how a lot of the streaming services were free? They weren't charging monthly subscriptions, things like that. So I'm sure now with the monthly subscription charge, the artists are getting paid better than they were, but I still don't know if it equates to.
I still want to know how that works.
Yeah, I still don't know if it equates to what it would be if it was like physical copies. But and then it's weird too, like it's weird too how they measure, the like the platinum and things like that, or the streams, like.
Well, I know like a stream category is like all its own now.
Okay.
Like they count up the streams. You can like get award for most streamed song and stuff like that.
So
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Music is very interesting nowadays.
Technology.
Moving forward. Well, we want to know what you guys think. So we'll probably we'll open up the question to the public.
Yeah, I mean, because this has been an ongoing thing. The past, like a major thing, like 10 years, probably longer than that. So I'm sure you guys know other things that we don't know. Because so many people have talked about this issue and different artists have spoken about it. So definitely want to hear.
One more thing to throw in.
What?
One more thing to throw in.
What?
Apparently, well, not apparently. You probably learned this in your animation, but MP3 is like a really poor quality sound.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So like when you're comparing it, especially to like vinyl, I hear you get like a very, you hear the music different. You get very warm sounds. MP3 is literally stripped of as much data as possible.
Yeah,
so the song still sounds the same. So the file can just be really small. So, for the purists out there, they probably not even messing with the MP3s like that.
Yeah, most people want like FLAC formatted. That's like, is that like the best one?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Someone let us know. Let us know.
I just know that normally, like on when I'm still, just because it's a creature of habit, I just still go on my little music forums, and usually that's the format people would prefer over MP3.
Oh, FLAC? Really? The hell's a FLAC player?
No, it's just the format. It's just the way it's compressed, right?
Nigga, $20. It's not playing on an iPhone, though.
Yeah, that might be a problem. Yo, didn't that used to be like the wackest thing ever? Like when you would have like your MP3 player and you put a song on there and the format was fucked up. Like I don't know what the fuck it'd be. You'd be all hype. You go to play that bitch and don't play.
Right? Or when you take it back. Take it back to when you was downloading something. It take mad long to download. Then when it get to like 98, that joint just cancel out and mess up like right at the end and shit.
Oh my god! Got all the viruses.
Try to get Booty Talk 37.
See, I was talking about music, Little Dirty. All the damn viruses. Fucking around with LimeWire.
Yo, you want to talk about investments? I done tore up my hard drive trying to download somebody's catalog.
Okay.
I remember my brother came back and played. I was the annoying kid on AIM that was always downloading music and then messaging all the friends like, yo, you gotta hear this song, this, that, and the third. Like I was really that person. But I remember my brother came home from Howard and he played Through the Wire, Kanye. Blew my mind. Like the original one when he actually rapped it through the wire. He didn't even spit, like he spit it through the wire, like he was mumbling. So I go on a Kanye rage and I download everything Kanye I can find. And that's what I was talking about, like that type of thing. Like I didn't know. I heard one song, but it made me want to investigate more. Now you hear one song and you're like, eh.
I mean, you might want to investigate if you like the artist.
You'll investigate, but I really, that's one thing I'm sticking to, yo. I feel like people ain't as devout fans as they used to be.
I don't know. I don't know. Can't really say that.
Can't say that.
Because I feel like if you like somebody, why wouldn't you want to hear the rest of their music? It might be trash, but you know.
I mean, you might. I might. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the actual, I think it's just too big of a pool. Because
I mean, I feel like Shay, I mean, maybe Shay's just like me. I don't know. But he'll sit there and fucking research every freaking song and make me listen to it.
He is just like you.
Like, come on, man. That's my son, by the way.
Yeah, right. I was about to clear that up.
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
All right, moving forward. Eminem. Eminem dropped Kamikaze, man.
Yes.
How you feel, man? You listen to the whole thing?
Yeah. I feel like if I wouldn't have heard the clips online when I was scrolling through my Instagram timeline, like people were playing random clips and it sounded super hard. So I think I went in with too high of hopes. Because I'm like, oh, that don't thump. Like, so then when I played it, I was like, like it's not bad, but you know, it's still not topping Marshall Mathers LP for me. Because I think it's like the content. Because it's like, I think I was getting too thrown off by him sounding so bitter. You know what I mean? I want to hear him just rap about crazy shit. Just him, you know, just his perspective on things. I don't want to hear him sounding like he's just salty. Like one or two songs, sure. But I feel like the majority of the songs, you know what I mean? He's like feeling like he has to prove himself. I think that's what was throwing me off. It's like, dog, like you're fucking Eminem. Like,
yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like you're Eminem. Why you don't have to say that you're better than anyone? Like I feel you, like, you know, throwing some shots or whatever, but it just sounded like, you know, each song, you know, had that type of tone. Like,
So like I listened to the album. I feel like it started off really strong. And then it just kind of faded for me. And here's the thing with Eminem, like he's always going to be able to rap. He's always going to be able to rap. And I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and he said something just like you said right now, and it's just like Eminem hasn't said anything of like content for like he said this for the majority of a decade. And I got to agree, because I ain't been rushing to hear his music like that. I
mean, like, when, you know, that political album, Revival, I guess. I mean, was that? I didn't listen to either because I don't like his super poppy stuff. But,
I don't,
what's it called? I mean, that probably had content. You know what I
mean?
mean,
I believe what he's saying is like, it's not like he has no content, but a majority of his stuff hasn't been.
It's just shit people don't want to hear. That's all.
Yeah, like, and I was talking to my brother, and I felt like, because I wasn't talking down about Eminem, but I was just like, he kind of just sounds past his prime. You know what I'm saying? Like he might just not. It just might not be the. That's
not his reality. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not his environment anymore. And like I can like tell, like I felt like my brother was just like, you know, reliving the Mathers LP. I'm sorry,
Marshall Mathers. Yeah.
Yeah, like was still in that, and I was just like, no, we love him for that, but like, it's kind of like whatever you've done for me lately type of business. And
you know what? Maybe if he took his, you know, whatever he's talking about in Revival, you know, all that political shit, and put him over the beats that he used on this album, that might have been something. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Just because it was, you know, just because it knocked, but at the same time, you spitting some shit. You know what I mean? About what's going on around us. You know, that would have been cool. That's probably the route he should have went. Because that's honestly like a big part of his downfall is his production choice. Like, nigga, this don't.
A lot of it is beat choice with a lot of rappers.
It's so boring. Yeah. So that's what I was like, yeah, his beat choice this time around was, you know, it's on trend and it's, you know, it's fun to listen to, but what?
I found it funny. So what he did in a couple of the songs on Kamikaze, he was like taking like the mumble rap flow. Yeah. The Migos flow.
Right.
And it was just like, Eminem's so dope that he could take that flow and make it sound dope.
Right.
When like you really want to just he's trying to trivialize it, but you're making it knock.
Right.
Like if your aim was to expose or mock that flow, like you're too good of a rapper. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like after a while in this album, like it's pretty much an album just taking shots at the younger generation. It's like generational warfare. You know, and Joe Budden.
Well, I mean, did he mention anyone that didn't say something about him? You know what I mean? Because I know everybody has said, even if it was something as petty as Revival sucked, you know what I mean? He was saying something about them. So that's what I thought. Like everybody that he mentions, he has heard them say something negative about him.
I know, but like in the same token, like I don't know, people are gonna say stuff.
No, I know, but like, you were saying a generation. I was wondering if he was like hating on the whole generation because obviously he listens to the music. You know, or if it was just him coming at these certain people that said, sorry, dude, your album fucking sucked. And the thing, he's Cincy because nobody said they weren't fucking with him. You know, everybody said they didn't like the album.
They just didn't like the album.
Everybody's allowed to have an opinion and they're still showing you respect, you know. That's much more than most people would get.
That's true. That's very true.
You know?
Anyway, can we talk about the elephant in the room that no one's treating like the elephant in the room in regards to Eminem? And you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Right.
You first.
Well, freaking Rap Devil. Yeah. Rap Devil. So, first of all, I don't even know nothing about MGK. Like, he was at a concert I went to this summer, and he was on a great show, but I've never really been into his music, but I know he could spit like that, you know? Yeah. But, it's fun to listen to. It's fucking hilarious. Someone stop wearing the fucking sweatsuits.
He said, I'm sick of them sweatsuits.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Dog, like, talking about you standing yourself. I said, child. But, so it's fun, you know what I mean? And I'm like, why is anybody talking about this? Like, because he fucking came in his neck. Like, and it's just like nobody knows about this. I don't know if it's because social media, like the popular gospel sites haven't been posting it or what, but
I don't know what it is, yo, but I feel like it deserves a lot more attention that it deserves more attention that it's getting. And I'm not saying it's the best diss track I've ever heard. Yeah. Like it's not either, but like by all accounts, that's a good record. That's tough. Yeah. That should be on the forefront of all these hip hop purists.
Diss
we should be talking about it, you know. And I wonder, all right, so is it that, so I came up with this question. Since nobody's talking about this, right, is it that no one cares about Machine Gun Kelly, or is it that no one cares about Eminem?
Well, I think it's more so nobody cares about Machine Gun Kelly, so, you know what I mean? Just because he doesn't have I don't think he has a huge presence as being a spitter. You know what I mean? So when you hear that, because even, like, honestly, my sister sent it to me. I would have never listened to it because I'm like, I ain't checking for that. You know what I mean? Just because all the music I heard him make is super poppy. So I'm like, okay, like, so him and Eminem are beefing. Like, ooh, that sounds fun. You know what I mean? I definitely wasn't expecting to be thoroughly entertained. Yeah, so right. I definitely wasn't checking for that. So, yeah, I think it may be more so on his end. Because anybody else would have came at Eminem's neck, they would have listened to it. You know what I mean? Somebody else that you know is a spitter, like. So.
That's true. That's true.
It's my opinion.
I think it's hard to say because, I mean, I haven't really gone out my way to listen to an Eminem album in a long time. But then again, I've never, ever listened to a Machine Gun Kelly album.
And I feel like all of us have some sort of relationship with Eminem. You know, it's because he's such a huge part of pop culture. But Machine Gun Kelly, you know, he's not.
But even Machine Gun Kelly, that was the more interesting thing about the actual diss.
What?
if you listen to the diss, you can hear Eminem in Machine Gun Kelly, and you can,
Oh, hell
you
yeah.
know, like he's admitted it. He's admitted like, yo, that's our idol. So like he really did call him a bully.
Right. And that's why it's even too, like you said, you know, just because you can tell, like, he really is like, all right, nigga, like.
Well,
right.
you know,
like, I got this shit from you. Let me turn and flip it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yo, do you think Eminem should respond?
That's what I was like, yo, I know Eminem mad as shit right now. Nigga mad as shit. So a bitch.
He called him a bitch.
You got called a bitch. You mad. Like, you're mad as shit.
You gotta go up top immediately. Somebody call you a bitch.
Yeah, he was going the whole time. Like, there wasn't a break. Like, there was too many shots. So, yeah, that nigga mad. Now, I was saying, if he come back, I feel like he gonna come back correct. But then I feel like MGK could probably come back again. So I don't even know where this should go.
I feel like you don't play with somebody who's hungry, yo. And if all the stuff that Machine Gun Kelly was saying is true about Eminem, like blackballing and stuff, he has some pent up anger over this. All right, let's rewind. Apparently, this started from a tweet that Machine Gun Kelly tweeted years ago about Eminem. Yeah, about Eminem's daughter. And I think he called her, he was like, she's fucking hot.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I think she was underage at the time. So Eminem was upset about the tweet and, you know,
she
called
was
some
like
higher
16.
ups. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I feel you.
I feel you. Called some higher ups and wanted them to apologize. But since then, I don't know if Machine Gun Kelly ever apologized, but since then, he's kind of been getting, according to Machine Gun Kelly, he's been getting blocked. Can't go up to Shay in the Morning Show. He's telling people in his camp to shelf him, you know, not let him put music out. And not for nothing, I really haven't heard much from Machine Gun Kelly in a while, but he is signed to Diddy, right? I thought he was signed to Diddy.
I honestly don't know.
We probably should know that.
I mean, whatever.
All right, but should he respond? Like, here's the dilemma, right? So Eminem is solidified as like one of the GOATs in the game, right? So if you ask anybody, especially from our generation that kind of grew up with Eminem, listening to him, they'll be like, oh no, he a OG, he don't gotta respond, right? But in my opinion, I don't think he will. But I think it's kind of lame, because if it is like this generational stuff, like he comes at these mumble rappers, he's coming at how everybody bites people's flows, you know, you came at somebody and he responded with bars. And if you ask any of these old heads, that's what these old heads want. They want bars. So you actually got somebody to respond with bars. So for you to be somebody who hangs his hat on lyricism, to not respond when a lyricist comes back with some lyrical shit, it's kind of lame. So like I would hate for him to play the clout game.
Gotcha. After
throwing shots. Like, you had a problem with something, you threw shots, he threw shots back. Don't squash it because your name's Eminem. You know what I mean? Don't just silence it like I'm an OG, I ain't got to respond. Nah, you better send some missiles over. I want to hit it. I want to see the fireworks. You know what I'm saying? What you think? You think he's gonna respond?
I mean, like I said, I don't really. I know he mad as shit, but I don't know.
He rocking his sweatpants right now.
Because he was doing some bitch shit. So I don't really know.
What's the next time you saw him? Like, he don't wear sweatpants no more. What if it was all jeans from now on?
I think I saw him in concert a few years ago. He was at a festival I was at, and I think he definitely had the sweatsuit on. Like,
yeah.
He said, "You 46." I said, "Dag, yo, that nigga business out."
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about this beef.
Because they haven't heard it. I think once they hear his Machine Gun Kelly's like response, they'll get a little interested, because it's definitely thoroughly entertaining.
It is. And he dropped the video. I don't know about the diss videos though.
I mean,
who else is
it's in between. Looks like 2 tour buses. Like, he just did it real quick on a phone, like, and they added a filter over it.
He's eating cereal and shit.
Right. So, but No, I fucked with him after I saw him in concert, though. Like, he's super duper high energy. Like, it was a fun show. You know, even though I didn't care for the music, it was a lot of fun.
What concert was it? Who'd you go to see?
That's when I went to go see NERD at Virginia Beach.
I'm hating.
Mm-hmm.
Why you bringing up scars, yo?
I'm just saying, like,
that's probably the last time that I could possibly see them.
I'm hoping not. I hope the next time they come around, it's just them though, because it was, you know, the crowd was too mixed. And
well, those festivals are lame. I don't like festivals. I don't like festivals at all, especially like if you're really there for the music. You're really not going to really get a good show at a festival. The sound quality is usually bad.
It just sucked because a big part, I mean, as you know, a big part of going to an NERD show is being in the crowd, you know what I mean, and feeding off each other's energy. So it's like, it was such a mix of people coming to see different artists, you know. By the time it was time for Nerd to perform, it was like that same energy wasn't in the crowd because, you know, it was other fans and they're just, you know, kind of like, hey, what's this? So, you know, it wasn't as fun as when it's just literally their concert and it's just all the same fans, you know, and everybody can mosh and shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you run into that. You're going to run into in festivals. You're going to get a lot of people that are at the concert but aren't there for the person that you're there for. So then they're just taking up space.
Pretty much, and looking at me like I got a problem because I'm extra hype and losing my mind and screaming in their ear. Move! Why the fuck are you in the front? You don't know any words.
True.
I was getting the nastiest looks. I ain't give a fuck.
What else is going on?
In the world.
In the world. What else we need to talk to the people about?
In the world of music or just?
The world period, man. I think they've had enough of music today.
Oh, okay.
Tonight.
Right.
Aretha Franklin, that's still music. But rest in peace.
But rest in peace.
The pastor groping up Ariana
another
Grande.
Music artist. Yeah. That was gross. Fucking dick. Dirty ass. Because that's what I was saying, like, you know, I'm sure she already felt insecure when she realized how short her dress was. Because you in a black church, and you see how modest everyone else is. So I know she was already like, fuck, my shit a little short. And then it's like, you're right there in front of everyone. You're on TV, and this dude is holding you so close and inappropriately. It's just like, it's just a bad look. Like, damn, yo. I can hate that.
I was telling you before, like when certain things happen, especially with all that's happening with the movements that are going on, I have to literally take more than one take to look at something. Like my initial brain doesn't compute certain things, right? So like when I look at something, I'll be like, "Oh, you guys are overreacting," right? And then I gotta double back. You know, I usually give myself time to double back and look at it. And he had a handful of side boob.
Well, like,
and he refused to let go of
it. Yeah, it kept pulling closer. She's pulling away. But the thing I said to you too is, you know, it's not your everyday experience. You don't know what it feels like usually to have a man just roll up on you and touch you. And I said, even you being a man, you know, if a man walks up to you and puts his arm, slides it along your back, in between your arm and your fucking armpit and shit. Like, if a man, let's say you stand in line at the store and then you say, hey, how you doing? And they slide up and around your back, you're going to be like, the fuck? You know what I mean? You're going to feel violated. And, you know, just because it's the opposite sex, it's same sex, you know, just men are fucking creepy.
I think that's what we need to take away from almost all history. Men are really creepy.
But I think if men had more experiences where men were walking up just randomly fucking touching them and shit, you know, maybe
there's going to be a lot of fights.
It'd be a lot of fights, but it's also like, you see how that felt? Like, that's how I fucking, because like, even, you know, when people complain like, oh, this guy hit on me, da-da-da, and it's like, oh, bitch, welcome to the fucking club. Like, I don't feel bad for you. Oh my God, it happened to you once. Like, imagine, you know what I mean, all the fucking time since we were fucking preteens. We've had to deal with this. What?
When we first got to Philly, right? And I'm a people watcher, and I like watching people just in their natural environment being themselves, right? So I remember I started noticing a trend, like with girls walking down the street and guys just grabbing their arm. Right? They walk down the street, they be like, hey, yo, snatch their arm,
That's not new.
Right? It's not new, but it was new. It was new for me when I first came to school. And And I was like, I have never I was like, I'm not bold enough to do that, first of all.
Yeah.
But like some of them responded well, some of them responded not good. But then I really started like that made me really pay attention to men behavior. And what I started to do was if I seen an attractive girl, like say like I'm walking and I see an attractive girl, instead of paying attention to the attractive girl, I would pay attention to the dude's reactions walking past her. And that's when I really found out that dudes are creepy as shit. Dudes are super creepy. Wild creepy. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that. I don't know.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. I guess we're heading in the right direction. Did the pastor apologize?
I don't know. I haven't been following
I think he
that.
apologized.
I mean, I'm sure he did. Save face.
Hope so.
That bitch now.
Nike?
Oh, yeah, man. That's right. I knew there was something else.
Yeah, Nike. You already look mad, so you go first. You want to explain?
I mean, like, I'm not.
Over looking tight right
only
now.
Reason I'm mad. So initially, of course, I was like, "Oh hell yeah, that's awesome." You know what I mean? But then you pause, and it's like, wait a minute. It's still, a big corporation. It's still America. Some shit. You ain't on board. The fuck? Like, what's going? Like something else going on. So me and you, we start digging and looking for, because I have like all the jokes, everybody's laughing, making memes and shit. It's all good. It's a fun time.
Yo, those black and white pictures. Hold on, wait a second.
They're fucking hilarious.
Some of those
that
black
Mike
and white
Tyson one is the best. But
nigga, I saw one with Stevie Wonder. It had Braille on it.
Shut the fuck up.
It had Braille on it.
Yo, I love the Nelly one. I want to purr.
I want to purr.
I lost it. Sacrificed everything. I can't with the Mike Tyson. No, I didn't get mad until, because I said, of course I'm here for a good time. But I got mad when I saw that damn mannequin challenge in the Foot Locker, wherever the fuck they were at, Nike store, whatever they were in. And they did and they had what was it? I Have a Dream playing. Like, what was what was playing in the background? But they was all up, holding the Nikes up to the air, like, holding it up to God, like they praising Nike. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. Like, that's what's up. But chill. Like,
this is my problem, Whenever stuff like this happens, it's cool. But we act like these like, what is it called? Victories. Type of victory. I don't know. I don't know the word for it. Hopefully I get it. But like these, like, we treat it like we just ended slavery.
I'm saying though, right?
Like, no, it's just a Nike ad, bro.
And it's like, have you done your full research on this company?
This is true. One of the first things that I saw was they have their hand in what's it called? The prison industrial complex, because they get their work, they get their materials.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Done.
Like, don't they? Yeah, they provide materials or work on shoes. I don't know what the fuck they do, but I know the jails have something to do with that. For
y'all that don't know, the prison industrial complex is pretty much the new form of slavery. They get to pay somebody $1 for a day's work, and companies like, I looked it up, Microsoft uses it. I even heard Whole Foods uses it, which is interesting.
Yeah,
but Nike uses it too. So it's like, yeah, it's not shocking. And it's funny how this campaign comes out, right? This campaign comes out. Football just started today. So all these niggas that was boycotting football, they right back to watching it just because Nike has been paying Colin Kaepernick the whole time. And Nike still has a 10-year contract with the NFL. So, like, I don't know. It's great that Nike was still paying for stuff, but you gotta know this is a business move. Absolutely. At the end of the day, you gotta know, right. Like, and what did it do?
At the end of the day, what it did was make black people go buy a bunch of Nike shit. So they making money.
Like they weren't already.
No, but you know what I mean? Even more so now. Because like, oh, they support this? Hell yeah. And it's like, we don't have of course they're showing that they do support to some degree. But, what else is behind that support besides, monetizing off of it? Because that's all they're doing. is monetizing off their faces. You know what I mean? It's like, are you doing any behind the scenes work? Are you donating anything, you know, to really end police brutality and shit like that, since you want to have Kaepernick the face? You know what I mean? What are you actually doing?
Exactly. So check it. So one of the things was when Kaepernick started kneeling, you know, there's a narrative game that gets played. They changed the narrative. So the narrative turns in he's disrespecting the flag, when in all actuality, he had nothing to do with the flag the whole time. You guys changed it to that, and in turn changed it to disrespecting the military. Right. And then it took a whole life of its own when the root reason for it was over police brutality. Right? So a lot of the same black people that are praising this stuff now would bring that up and say, hey, it didn't start off like this. You guys changed the narrative. But now the narrative's being changed again. But just because Colin Kaepernick's been getting paid and somebody's supporting Colin Kaepernick, the police brutality narrative is kind of still getting lost. You've got people that are just happy that Nike is paying Colin Kaepernick, but what else is happening? What's behind this besides this campaign? Besides this, like, I don't know. It's almost like just these moments in time, that these little small insignificant victories that we cling to,
the distraction,
and that we think is great. That's what I'm saying.
We'll find out what.
Right? Tune in next time. Tune in next time, yo.
Right. Yeah, so I'm just like, we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about it.
Right. Oh man. Hey, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think we're good for the day.
Yeah.
Let us know your feedback.
Yeah, whether it be about streaming versus physical, or you know, Eminem versus MGK, or you know, us against Nike.
Right. Anything.
Or if you want to talk about those creepy men. Ew.
Yeah, creepy man.
God.
I'm a creep too. I think we're all creeps. You're a creep.
Everybody's a creep to a degree, but damn, have some self-control.
What, you mean you can't grab side boob at Aretha Franklin's funeral?
No.
Since when?
Right. And you can't fuck kids, yo. Fucking dirty asses, yo. I just thought about damn Catholic Church.
Yo,
nasty
tune in
bitches.
next time, yo. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Catholic Church. Tune in
I don't
next
even want to talk about that. God.
We should.
It's depressing.
Right, so one of the good things about having Brit on is if you just get her mad, she'll just go. And it makes for great content. So we probably do have to talk about the Catholic Church. That'll get going.
Depleting my energy fields.
All right? Just wind her up and let her loose. Take the muzzle off.
Fucking wind up toy running around.
All right, y'all. BZ Podcast. We out. Thank you for listening.
Yep.
Peace.
Later.
like